11. Non-finite verbs. Verbs can be divided into two categories. Finite verbs are governed by the person and number of the subject. They have a tense. Examples: I am driving down the street. Renu drives to college. They drive very slow. In the above sentences, the verb drive is governed by the person and number of the subjects I, Renu, and they respectively. Non-finite verbs do not change their form even when the person and the number of the subject changes. Examples: I want to eat something spicy. Mohan wants to eat nuts every day. They want to eat bread and cheese for breakfast. In the above sentences, the verb eat does not change even though the person and number of the subject change. Non-finite verbs are of three kinds. Gerund. The ing form of the verb which is used as a noun is called a gerund. It is also called the verbal noun. Examples: swimming is good for health. Running is a good way to keep fit. Infinitive. The infinitive is the base form of the verb. It is often used with to or without to. Infinitives with to before them are called to infinitives. Examples: Mona and I agreed to meet at the cafe at 4 o'clock. I am going to visit the accountant now. Infinitives without to before them are called bare infinitives. Examples: He would help me to solve the sum. The gardener would help him to water the plants. Participle. There are two kinds of participles: present and past. Present participles are found by adding ing to the base verb. Example: I have been playing. Past participles are formed by adding d, ed, en, t or n to the base verb. Example: I have cooked. A. Infinitives. The infinitive of a verb is its basic form with or without the word to. Examples: do or to do, be or to be. The infinitive without to is called bare infinitive. Do, be. The infinitives with to is called full infinitive. To do, to be. The bare infinitive. First, the bare infinitive is used as the main verb after the dummy auxiliary verb do or most modal auxiliary verbs such as will, can or should. Examples: I do know him. I do like you. I can do it. Second, several common verbs of perception including see, watch, hear, feel and sense take a direct object and a bare infinitive. Examples: I saw it happen. I watched it happen. Third, the bare infinitive is also used with several common verbs of permission or possession including make, bid, let and have. Examples: I made, bade, let, had him to do it. However, make takes a to infinitive in the passive voice. I was made to do it. Fourth, the bare infinitive is also used after had better. Example: you had better leave now. Fifth, the verb help is followed by the bare infinitive. Example: he helped them do it. He helped them to do it is also possible. Sixth, with the word why. Example: why say it? The full infinitive. The full infinitive is used as follows: The full infinitive can function as a noun phrase. In this case, it is used as follows. As a subject. Example: to err is human, to forgive is divine. As an object. Example: I intended to marry her. He wanted to know the whole truth. It can also be used like an adjective or adverb. Examples: this is the game to watch. To watch functions as an adjective, modifying the noun game. This is the problem to think about. To think about functions as an adjective modifying the noun, the problem. He went to his friend's house to study. To study functions as an adverb answering the question why he went to his friend's house. He is ready to go. To go function as an adverb modifying the adjective ready. It is used to mean in order to express purpose. Examples: you need to exercise regularly to lose weight. In order to lose weight. He works hard to earn a lot of money. In order to earn a lot of money. B. Participle. There are three types of participles. First, present participle. Second, past participle. Third, perfect participle. Let us see some examples of each of the three participles. Present participle. Examples: going up the stairs, the boy fell down. Working all day, I was fatigued. Not knowing my way, I asked the policeman. Mounting his horse, the bandit rode off. Seeing the sunshine, I threw open the window. Past participle. Examples: encouraged by his wife, he persevered. Enchanted by the whole scene, I lingered on my voyage. We saw a few trees laden with fruits. Blinded by smoke, we lost our way. Experienced for a decade, I prepared the manual in a minute. Perfect participle. Examples: having failed in the first attempt, he made no further attempts. Having lost my certificates, I applied for duplicates. Having learnt the truth, he remained calm. We can use participles to combine two sentences. Study the example given below. She ran out of the room. She was screaming. We can rewrite this sentence as she ran out of the room screaming. Another example: I lost all my money. I went home. Having lost all my money, I went home. C. Gerunds. A gerund is a noun formed from a verb. All gerunds end in ing. Examples: swimming is a therapeutic activity. Running makes one fit. Gossiping is an idle exercise. Even though a gerund is a noun, it can take a direct object like a verb. This is known as a gerund complement. Examples: swimming in the lake, running a kilometer, gossiping about colleagues. Uses: the gerund as the subject of the sentence. Examples: abusing people is wrong. Hunting animal is illegal. Flying makes me nervous. Brushing your teeth is important. Smoking causes lung cancer. Conserving nature is praiseworthy. The gerund as the complement of the verb to be. Examples: one of his duties is attending meetings. The hardest thing about learning English is understanding the gerund. One of life's simple pleasures is having breakfast in bed. The gerund after prepositions. The gerund must be used when a verb comes after a preposition. This is also true of certain expressions ending in a preposition For example, the expressions in spite of and there is no point in. Examples: can you sneeze without opening your mouth? She is good at painting. She avoided him by walking on the opposite side of the road. We arrived in Leh after driving all night. My father decided against postponing his trip to Sundarbans. There is no point in waiting for them. In spite of missing the train, we arrived on time. The gerund after phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are composed of a verb plus preposition or adverb. Examples: when will you give up smoking? She always puts off going to the dentist. He kept on asking for money. Julie ended up buying a new television set after her old one broke. There are some phrasal verbs that include the word to as a preposition. For example, to look forward to take to be accustomed to get around to, and to be used to. It is important to recognize that the word to is a preposition in these cases because it must be followed by a gerund. It is not part of the infinitive form of the verb. You can check whether to is a preposition or part of the infinitive. If you can put the pronoun it after the word to and form a meaningful sentence, then the word to is a preposition and must be followed by a gerund. Examples: I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to meeting new people. I am used to waiting for buses. I am used to working in shifts. She did not really take to studying English. She did not really take to it. When will you get around to mowing the grass? When will you get around to it? The gerund in compound nouns. In compound nouns using the gerund, it is clear that the meaning is that of a noun, not of a continuous verb. For example, with the word swimming pool, it is a pool for swimming in. It is not a pool that is swimming. Examples: I am giving my sister a driving lesson. They have a swimming pool in their backyard. I bought a pair of new running shoes. The gerund after some expressions. The gerund is necessary after the expressions can't help, can't stand, to be worth, and it's no use. Examples: she could not help falling in love with him. I can't stand being stuck in traffic jams. It's no use trying to escape. It might to be worth calling up the station to check the time of the train.